Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns hasn't been seen in more than a week, and it seems that his work as the Tribal Chief might have come to an end in WWE. The former world champion came up short in the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41, and now it seems that his rival Seth Rollins will be getting the Paul Heyman push on WWE Raw. Wrestling veterans Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff recently announced plans to begin their own unscripted wrestling promotion in 2025, and while the announcement didn't go over as well as expected, they could receive the backing of WWE. If WWE were to enter into an arrangement with this new company, similar to the manner they have with DNA, then someone like Roman Reigns could head over to the promotion and work as a new character. The veteran could put over some up-and-coming stars before he decides to call it a day in the ring. Reigns noted several times in recent years that he was coming to the end of his career, and he could now choose to work for one of WWE's affiliate companies, with the Bloodline saga seemingly over. Hulk Hogan is one of the most hated men in wrestling at present, but he appears to be turning it around, and WWE backing his new proposed venture would definitely help. Roman Reigns could be looking to change things up in the coming years. Roman Reigns already has a much lighter workload in WWE presently than he did in the past. However, he could have an even better schedule with this new promotion and could be able to help push it forward. This wouldn't be the same as competition for WWE, which could allow many stars who were being underutilized to be sent there instead. WWE has a huge roster at present, and when SmackDown returns to a runtime of 2 hours next month, there will be many missing out on TV time. This new promotion could be the answer to what the Stamford-based company might have been looking for. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, reports are swirling that Roman Reigns may be preparing for an exit from WWE programming, at least for the foreseeable future. The Tribal Chief, who has ruled over WWE with absolute authority for nearly 4 years, has left fans puzzled with his recent absence, cryptic interviews, and backstage buzz suggesting he's looking toward Hollywood, and maybe even Hulkamania. Could Roman Reigns really be walking away from the squared circle to team up with WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan? While the idea might sound like a fantasy booking fever dream, the seeds of this unlikely alliance may already be planted. The empire he built. Since returning in 2020, Reigns has transformed from a polarizing babyface into the most dominant heel of the modern era. With Paul Heyman at his side, the Bloodline at his command, and championship gold around his waist, Reigns became the face of SmackDown and the undisputed top star in WWE. But all empires fall. With Cody Rhodes dethroning Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and the Bloodline fracturing under Solo Sikoa's violent leadership, Reigns has vanished from WWE television, only adding to the mystery. Rumors indicate Reigns may not return to WWE programming this year, and possibly not at all. According to sources close to the situation, Reigns has expressed interest in exploring roles in film and streaming platforms, much like his cousin Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But here's the twist, he's also been spotted recently in Tampa, Florida, home of the immortal Hulk Hogan. A surprise meeting. Insiders report that Reigns and Hogan met privately just weeks ago, sparking immediate speculation. What could the two legends be plotting? While Hogan has remained mostly on the sidelines in recent years due to health concerns and controversies, he's been slowly rebuilding his relationship with WWE and its fanbase. A source close to Hogan claims the meeting wasn't about wrestling alone. Terry and Roman talked about legacy, media projects, and possibly something bigger than WWE, the source revealed. There's talk of a docuseries, maybe even a business venture involving sports entertainment on a global scale. Could Hogan be pulling Reigns into a joint project, perhaps a hybrid wrestling/media company that gives Reigns the creative freedom he craves and allows Hogan to reclaim some of his legacy? Hulkamania x the Bloodline? If you think the idea of Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns joining forces sounds far-fetched, think again. Hogan has long talked about passing the torch and sees Reigns as someone worthy of carrying his old-school brand of charisma into a new generation. In a recent podcast appearance, Hogan praised Reigns, saying, "He reminds me of a younger me, he has presence, confidence, and the fans respect him even when they boo. He's the complete package." Interestingly, Hogan also noted he'd be open to appearing in a limited role on television if it meant mentoring or backing a star like Roman. "I'd do it if the story meant something. I'm not trying to have another match, brother," Hogan said, "but I'd love to be part of something epic." That something epic could mean a return for Reigns, not to WWE, but to a new promotion or media brand spearheaded by the duo. With WWE under the TKO umbrella and undergoing numerous changes, some believe Reigns feels restricted by the system. Hogan, known for bucking authority even in his prime, may offer Roman an avenue to break free. Wrestling World reacts. As news of this potential partnership spreads, reactions across the wrestling world have been mixed. Some see it as a bizarre pairing, two stars from completely different eras with contrasting legacies. Others view it as a bold, money-making dream team. Triple H, when asked about Roman's WWE status during a recent press conference, said cryptically, "Roman has earned the right to do what he wants. He's taken this business to heights few have. If and when he returns, we'll be ready, but if he chooses a different path, he'll still be acknowledged." Even Paul Heyman has remained quiet, highly unusual for the wise man, who is often the mouthpiece for any major bloodline developments. Could Heyman also be in on whatever Roman and Hogan are cooking up? Hollywood or a new wrestling era? Beyond wrestling, both Reigns and Hogan have strong ties to the entertainment industry. Hogan starred in cult classics like No Holds Barred and Suburban Commando, while Reigns appeared in Fast and Furious Presents, Hobbs and Shaw and has several film offers pending. If they were to launch a production company focused on sports-themed content or wrestling documentaries, it could tap into the booming nostalgia and modern fandom market. Some fans are already calling this potential duo the Bloodline Brotherhood, a blend of Reigns' dominance and Hogan's bombastic charm. Others speculate that Hogan might return to WWE in a manager role if Reigns re-emerges for a final storyline, perhaps one involving a WrestleMania retirement match, one last Bloodline war, or even a showdown with Solo Sikoa. What comes next? If Roman Reigns is indeed walking away from WWE, it marks the end of one of the most influential eras in modern wrestling. But it could also be the beginning of something even more daring, a crossover empire that mixes nostalgia with future storytelling, headed by two of wrestling's biggest names. Whether it's in the ring, on the silver screen, or behind the scenes of a new wrestling venture, the alliance between Roman Reigns and Hulk Hogan has the potential to shift the balance of the wrestling world once more. One thing is certain, if you thought Roman Reigns' WWE career was legendary, you haven't seen the last chapter yet. After all, you don't bet against the Tribal Chief, or Hulkamania. For over a decade, Roman Reigns has dominated WWE programming, evolving from a polarizing babyface into the undisputed Tribal Chief of sports entertainment. With his signature snarl, imposing presence, and unparalleled title reign, Reigns has crafted a legacy few can touch. But as 2025 progresses and whispers grow louder backstage, fans and insiders alike are beginning to speculate. Could Roman Reigns be preparing to change everything we know about him? From the outside, Reigns seems untouchable. He's main evented WrestleMania after WrestleMania, dismantled legends, and led the Bloodline to unprecedented dominance. Yet, those closest to WWE's inner workings suggest that Roman is becoming restless, not out of dissatisfaction, but out of vision. One WWE producer recently confided, "Roman's always thinking 5 steps ahead. He doesn't want to be remembered just as the guy who held the title forever. He wants to leave behind a legacy that pushes boundaries and reinvents the entire industry." Acting aspirations and Hollywood dreams. Rumors have swirled for years about Roman's interest in Hollywood, especially given his cousin Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's massive success. Reigns even dipped his toes into the film world with a cameo in Fast and Furious Presents, Hobbs and Shaw, and according to insiders, he's had multiple meetings with studios about future projects. It's not just about leaving WWE, a source close to Reigns says. It's about evolving. He sees the crossover potential. He wants to be in projects that mean something to him, whether that's action, drama, or something entirely unexpected. But don't expect Roman to simply vanish from WWE TV. He's reportedly interested in adopting a seasonal schedule, similar to what Brock Lesnar and now Cody Rhodes are rumored to be negotiating. Reigns wants to work smarter, not harder, picking key moments to strike, and letting absence make the crowd's anticipation grow stronger. The Bloodline fracture and a new philosophy. On-screen, the Bloodline has started to unravel. Solo Sikoa's increasingly aggressive leadership style, the debut of Jacob Fatu, and the continued absence of Jimmy and Jey Uso have left the stable in chaos. Roman's anticipated return to address the madness could be the perfect opportunity for a major character shift. Roman is considering a departure from the Tribal Chief persona, one creative team member revealed. He's talking about going deeper, something more cerebral, almost like a mob boss or a king falling from grace and trying to reclaim his empire. A return to a more vulnerable, human version of Roman Reigns could captivate fans in new ways. Imagine Roman navigating betrayal, attempting redemption, or even aligning with unlikely allies. There's even been talk of a shocking babyface turn, something no one would have thought possible just a year ago. Potential feuds that redefine legacy. If Reigns is truly looking to shake things up, it may not just be his character or schedule, it could be who he chooses to feud with next. One option heavily rumored is a slow-burn rivalry with Seth Rollins that finally closes the chapter of the Shield in a way fans never got. Another involves Braun Breaker, the new generation powerhouse who many believe could be the heir to the Reigns throne. A match with Gunther, another dominant force, has also been floated, two titans colliding to establish the greatest of this era. But the most compelling scenario? Roman facing a returning Cody Rhodes again, but this time with the tables turned. With Reigns now the one chasing, the stakes could be emotionally reversed. What happens when the man who had it all loses everything, and has to claw his way back? Building the next bloodline. One of Roman's long-term goals may be to start building, not just dominating. With WWE rumored to be eyeing several Anoa'i family prospects in NXT and even from the indie scene, Roman could rebrand himself as a mentor, an emperor of sorts, curating the future of the bloodline for a new generation. Roman wants to give back, a former writer said. He's passionate about the business. He could take someone like Zilla Fatu under his wing, tell the story of how power is passed down, and finally step into the role of a true godfather figure. A long-term plan might involve Reigns orchestrating things from the shadows, becoming more of a mythical figure whose appearances feel like events. In this way, Roman stays central to the WWE universe, but in a reinvented, cinematic style that continues to push boundaries. A different kind of influence. Reigns has also reportedly expressed interest in working more closely with creative. Sources say he's been involved in helping develop storylines not just for the bloodline, but for other stars. With Triple H currently leading creative, Roman's insights have been welcomed. He sees the whole board, a current WWE writer said. He's been through the system, from getting booed out of buildings to becoming the most respected man in the locker room. He understands timing, crowd psychology, and storytelling. If WWE ever launched a more official creative council, don't be surprised to see Reigns' name at the top. It may not be an in-ring role, but it would be just as impactful. Roman Reigns, the final chapter, or the beginning of a new one? As 2025 progresses, the aura around Roman Reigns is shifting. Not because he's fading, but because he might be preparing for his boldest transformation yet. A superstar of his caliber doesn't just disappear, he evolves. Whether it's becoming a part-time megastar, a Hollywood headliner, a backstage mastermind, or an on-screen monarch in a new kind of bloodline saga, Reigns seems poised to rewrite what it means to be at the top. One thing is certain, Roman Reigns doesn't follow trends, he sets them. And whatever comes next, fans will be watching, waiting, and acknowledging their tribal chief, however he chooses to reign.